The desert burns beneath the midday sun. Waves of heat shimmer above endless sands, where once the pyramids rose in silent glory. But today the silence is broken, not by the wind, not by the cries of camels or chariots, but by the roar of jet engines. The sky trembles as formations of fighter jets sweep over the Nile, leaving silver contrails that cut across the heavens. This is not the Egypt of history. This is an empire reborn, armed with the weapons of the modern world. Imagine the year 1250 BC. The great Pharaoh Ramses II stands before his armies. His golden crown reflects the blinding sun, and behind him, instead of chariots, stand squadrons of supersonic aircraft gleaming like blades of light. The gods once gave him power over life and death, but now humanity has given him something greater, air superiority. The ancient world does not know it yet, but the age of pharaohs is about to return, not through myth, but through fire. From the heart of Thebes, the command center of the new Egyptian empire hums with energy. Satellite feeds display the map of the ancient world, Mesopotamia, Persia, Greece, all lit up as potential targets. Generals in black uniforms stand at attention while Ramses surveys the screen. He points to the horizon and gives the order that will change history. Ascend the skies. The world shall kneel before Egypt once more. Moments later, F-16s modified with golden insignias lift off from desert runways. Their engines scream across the dunes, carrying the legacy of the gods into the future. Below, armored divisions rumble forward. Abrams tanks painted in desert camouflage, escorted by drones that trace invisible paths through the sky. The empire of the Nile has become a machine of conquest. The first target is Babylon, the rival of old. Its walls once held strong against every invader, but they were never built to resist precision missiles. Egyptian jets streak through the night, radar silent, guided by satellites launched from the Valley of the Kings. A flash lights up the horizon. When dawn comes, Babylon's towers lie in ruins. The rivers that once divided nations now carry the reflection of burning skies. As word spreads, panic grips the ancient world. The Greeks prepare their triremes, the Persians rally their armies, and far in the east the Chinese emperors watch with unease. But none can match the pharaoh's might. Egypt now commands not only armies, but the elements, the air, the sea, and soon, even space. Ramses addresses his people from the steps of the Great Pyramid. Behind him, screens display footage of fighter jets soaring over conquered cities. His voice echoes through every broadcast. For centuries, Egypt stood as the cradle of civilization. Now we reclaim what was always ours. The sun never sets on the land of the pharaohs. The crowds roar. The old gods smile. The empire begins its march across continents. The campaign moves west toward Greece. The city of Athens, once proud and free, becomes the next target. Egyptian stealth bombers glide silently above the Aegean Sea. Their payloads drop like thunder, and within minutes, the Parthenon burns beneath the shadow of modern war. Egyptian Marines land along the coast, carrying assault rifles where hoplites once bore spears. History folds upon itself. The birthplace of philosophy falls to the birthplace of civilization. Meanwhile, Persian forces attempt to resist. Their archers, their cavalry, none of it matters. Egyptian drones mark targets with infrared precision. Missiles streak through the air, and the desert, once filled with arrows, becomes a graveyard of steel. Within weeks, the Persian Empire collapses. The pharaoh's banner rises over Persepolis. Gold, sand, and fire merge into one unstoppable symbol, but Ramses is not satisfied. His eyes turn toward Europe, toward lands of forests and snow, toward Rome before Rome even exists. The Egyptian war machine adapts. They build aircraft carriers in the Mediterranean, guided by AI systems integrated into ancient hieroglyphic codes. The old and the new fuse perfectly. Egypt's engineers inscribe algorithms onto stone tablets, blending mysticism with technology. The empire becomes a civilization of divine science, half god, half machine. Soon, fighter jets fly over mountains that have never seen men before. Tanks roll through valleys once ruled by tribes. The empire stretches from the Nile to the Atlantic. The map glows gold. The ancient world is no more. There is only Egypt, yet power breeds ambition, and ambition always breeds danger. Within the command halls of Thebes, whispers grow. Some generals believe they should rule, not the pharaoh. Others question whether the gods still favor Egypt, or if humanity has gone too far. One night, a prototype weapon is tested deep in the desert, a nuclear device disguised as a gift to Ra. The blast turns night into day. For a moment it feels like creation itself. Then comes silence. The pharaoh watches from his observation tower, awe mixed with fear. He realizes he now holds the fire of the sun in his hands. With this power, he could reshape continents or end them. But control begins to slip. Scientists warn that the weapon's radiation poisons the very land that sustains the Nile. Crops fail, sandstorms increase. The empire that conquered the world now stands on the edge of self-destruction. Ramses faces a choice: expand further or preserve what remains. He calls a council beneath the Great Pyramid. His generals argue. Some demand another strike to crush the remaining free nations of the north. Others plead for restraint. The air crackles with tension. Then Ramses speaks. "If we burn the world," he says, "who will be left to worship us?" His words echo across the chambers. The empire pauses, torn between victory and survival. But fate has already decided. Somewhere beyond the deserts, a coalition of remaining free nations forms, a resistance that uses Egypt's own stolen technology. Satellite hacking, stealth drones, electronic warfare. The conqueror becomes the target. The skies that once belonged to Egypt now swarm with enemy signals. The final battle begins above the Nile itself. Egyptian fighter jets clash with those of the resistance. Dogfights streak across the heavens. Missiles trace fiery arcs through the twilight. The pyramids stand below, silent witnesses to the chaos. Ramses commands from his aerial flagship, giving orders with the calm of a god. His empire's fate unfolds in flashes of light and sound. Then, one of the resistance's stealth bombers breaks through the defense grid. A missile strikes the capital. The Great Pyramid shatters, its top exploding into a cloud of dust and fire. Communication fails. The empire collapses. Ramses's final words over the radio are simple. Let history remember us not as conquerors, but as the sons of the sun. The world changes. Centuries later, archaeologists unearth the ruins of an Egypt that never existed. They find jet fragments buried beside mummies, bullet casings near temples, and strange hieroglyphs that depict machines flying through the sky. Historians argue whether it was myth or reality, but deep within those sands lies a truth the world will never forget. The pharaohs once ruled the earth not through fear, but through vision. Maybe that's the real legacy of Egypt. Not just the pyramids or the gods, but the dream of eternal power, the belief that civilization could rise beyond its time. Give the pharaohs modern technology, and they would build a new world. But take away their wisdom, and they would destroy it just as quickly. So, what if ancient Egypt had fighter jets, missiles, and nuclear fire? They might have conquered the world, yes, but they would still face the same enemy every empire faces, themselves. If you enjoyed imagining this alternate history, make sure to subscribe for more reimagined worlds, where ancient empires meet modern power, and history is reborn through the fire of imagination. Because the past never dies. It only waits for those bold enough to rewrite it.